guess what?
What?
We're here.
Yeah.
It's Everyone Sucks here with Sam, Sushie, and AJ. And this is the second recording session we've had in 1 week.
The third attempt.
The third attempt. The second recording session, third attempt overall. Because computers are dumb. And that's basically where we have that at. Computers are dumb.
No.
We had this really cool intro before. I'm not going to I was going to try maybe I could splice it in. I'm not going to. But basically we were talking about how, isn't it weird how commercials are kind of like a way of the past, like remembering commercials, from our childhood. We can all be like, remember this commercial? Because they don't really exist anymore. Plus, we all have ad blockers, and nobody has fucking cable. Everybody has Netflix and fucking subscription services. So commercials as a whole are kind of a thing of the past. And and with that, we lose the charm of the local commercials that nobody else knows about besides you.
Oh my God, I love local commercials.
They're so fucking good. And
they're so good, yeah.
It looked like the last thing we cut off on was, because I was talking about this one called not Rent-A-Center, because that's an actual place. I lost it in my brain, but there was one Sam was talking about.
Oh, you did a jingle.
Yeah, it's a jingle, but I can't remember it now.
I don't know.
That's almost McDonald's jingle there.
Well,
Wreck Room Burger. Is Wreck Room Burger the comfort zone? That's what it was. Yeah. That was a thing from Ohio, and I was like, yeah, that lives rent free in my head forever now. For my entire life, that will live. And same with my sister or anybody else from Ohio, that will live rent free in your head forever. But for Sam, she had this fucking Hawaiian one.
I love how you were like, we're not going to get into it, and then we immediately got into it.
No. I said we weren't going to get into the fucking... Not that. I said we weren't going to get into the fucking trying to splice them together.
Oh, okay.
Pay attention.
Wow.
What's the commercial from?
Oh, I was talking about... I was talking how the only person who listens to this podcast is going to be only one
The only
other...
person who listens to this podcast?
The one other...
thousands of downloads, Sam.
There's only going to be one person who's listening who understands what I'm about to say.
That's probably true.
Okay, there we go. I can do words. It's a thing that can happen. But yeah, they have this retail store in Hawaii called Jeans Warehouse.
Cheese?
Jeans Warehouse.
Like blue jeans.
Okay.
Like blue jeans.
Yeah.
Okay.
What kind of local stuff do you have there in New York, or did you have that you remember from your childhood?
So in New York, they would have more tri-state area commercials.
Yeah.
So there would be commercials from Connecticut and New Jersey, and we would just get them all.
I lived in the tri-state too, so I totally feel that. Being in the corner in Cincinnati, yeah.
Right. So it would be commercials from Long Island, and it's a mishmash of stuff, and it wouldn't be necessarily anything here, but we would still get the commercials for it. And there is, I was actually just talking about this the other day with someone else from New York. There's this auto lot called Major World, and
God,
they have the most annoying commercials. And car dealership kind of commercials. They're always on the whatever channel you're watching, a local channel, around the local news.
Yeah.
So I forgot the jingle, but there was my neighbors are moving around. There was a jingle. I forgot exactly how it went, but it was really annoying. And there was another one for a different car lot. I forgot the name of it, though, but I know it was in Long Island. And it would play on the radio. And I just have PTSD about it because it would go off as, my alarm would turn on. Do you guys remember those alarms that the radio would turn on?
Yeah.
Okay, so I had one of those jump offs, right? So, I'm, waking up to go to school. There would be this, I would put on, whatever FM stupid station it was. And it would be Mitsubishi Galant. This guy, screaming.
Oh my God.
That was the thing with those radios too.
Everybody owned the same one, and it was brown and black.
Mine was mine.
The brown and black one with the red numbers.
Mine had green neon on it.
And they were flat, and a little rectangle.
The thing with those is it's a great idea and concept. Wake up to music. But one, it's always commercials. because like it's fucking just turns on the radio, and most of the time it's gonna be fucking commercials. Two,
imagine waking up to Mitsubishi Galant.
well, there was also that whole thing too with like. No matter what, you could get the station set perfectly, and then as you turn it off, when you turn it back on, it's always like moved just enough to have a little bit of static in it too. You know, like so you're like it's not even like dialed into the right station, and like I feel like when I used to use that, there'd be two things I'd always wake up to. It would either be commercials or that fucking song Dreamweaver. Do you guys remember the song Dream? And it was like, ooh, Dreamweaver. I'm like, why are you playing this in the morning? It's like every morning. And like that does not make you want to wake up either. That's like a sleepy time song.
Right.
Like, Dreamweaver.
I would wake up to Hot 97, which is the New York like hip hop station, and their tagline was blazing hip hop and R&B. That's what I would.
See, we had what was with the 97s? Because we had Z. Oh no, that was 93. Never mind. Z 93. We had a 97 as well. We had Q102, Z93, and the biggest one for Cincinnati, which is actually like kind of world known, is like WEBN. It's like 102.7 WEBN, but like because they do a big fireworks show every year. It's a big fucking I don't know. But
we had 95 Rock.
95 Rock.
And like
all Hinder all day.
They literally got rid of it.
Hinder.
They
oh my
literally
God.
got rid of it and they replaced it with a fucking country station. So like so I don't know how they do it now, but like when I left, there were no rock stations at all. There was only Christian music and country music. And like one hip hop station.
The rock station here was 92.3 K Rock, and that's what Howard Stern was on.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Way back in the day.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember those commercials that like? Okay, does anybody remember? I'm sure it exists. The General Auto Insurance, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing is, I always found it fascinating how there were some commercials that were so poorly done that I thought they were local, and the General was one of those because like even like
the General has very local
like
vibes to it,
like even after we switched to widescreen, it was still one of the few commercials holding on to the fucking 4:3 ratio. So when it came on, what the fuck? But like it was filmed like a local commercial, and that jingle is like for the best car insurance rates in town, call 1-800-GENERAL now. Well, it's just so
how
like
the fuck.
it's just so.
They came on MTV all the time, like MTV2.
Yeah,
like,
I literally thought it was a local
that's how
commercial
AJ knows
for
it.
years.
I already know.
Like and then found out later on.
Car insurance, so all the kids would get it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because it was the cheapest car insurance rate in town.
Yeah, it was like, you didn't have to have a good record or whatever.
Yeah.
So. What was that? Oh my God. AJ, I don't know, Sam, you might be on the cusp of knowing what I'm talking about. What was the fucking commercial for that like jingle about like studying to get into school? You know what I'm talking about?
Education Connection?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ma'am.
Working for an hourly wage. I went to high school. Didn't do great. Gotta get more cash. More education is what I'm looking at.
Education Connection.
Yeah. When I get my degree, I will make a bigger salary. Get connected for free.
Huh?
Remember that commercial?
Of course. I literally have played it on my channel for like the past 2 years.
Really? Oh my God, I love that.
Here's the great thing about that commercial. If you look up Education Connection on Spotify, there's a high definition version of it.
Yes.
You can hear it like in perfect quality.
Yep.
Like 320 kbps. Fucking pristine quality Education Connection.
We totally haven't played it at conventions while walking through the floor at all.
With my hip speaker. Yeah, it's. Did you guys ever win anything off the radio?
No.
No.
Like tickets?
No.
Yeah.
I never called in though.
I never called in.
Yeah, I never called in.
I've called in a couple of times,
AJ.
and I actually got in. I've got in a couple of times
Because AJ doesn't have social anxiety.
Yeah.
He doesn't fear the phone like we do.
No, it's very true. Accurate.
They literally had a contest. It's the dumbest contest where all you do is listen for 10 songs, which when you think about it makes sense because getting people to listen for a long amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And then write down what the songs were, and then call in, and then tell them what the songs were. But the thing is, they also told like, okay, what was song number 7? What was song number 5? And the only one I remember that was in this list, because I had to ask my sister what the name of it was, this is gonna like date of when this happened too, was the is that You and Me, Baby, We Ain't Nothing But Mammals?
The Bloodhound Gang.
Yeah. I couldn't remember the name of the fucking group. So I remember asking Allie, I was like, what's that song?
That song was really ridiculous.
Yeah,
So because of that song, I got into the newly built aquarium that had just been built across the river.
Not the newly built aquarium.
And that was my first time ever going to an aquarium.
It's the fish zoo.
I did actually. I pet the stingray. Yeah.
AJ went to the fish zoo.
Yeah, the wet zoo.
The liquid zoo.
The liquid zoo.
Oh my God.
You know, that is one thing. So I don't really I don't watch cable TV anymore. I don't really listen to the radio anymore. Like when we get in the car, we listen to a podcast or just like
Because
put up
you
our
won't let
music.
me.
But I will say that's one of the most fun things about road trips is just putting on the radio, because there's something about like when you're driving through like multiple states, something Sushie's probably never done. When you're driving through multiple states and you're like
Can't relate.
you put it on a radio station and then like suddenly it starts fading out. You get to that point like, oh shit, we don't have service anymore, right? So then you're in the abyss. You just have to find a new station. You have no idea where you're at anymore. You're out in the middle of fucking bumfuck nowhere trying to find some station, and you're cycling through until you find any song you recognize, and you're holding on to that song and you're like, oh shit, back streets back, all right, and then you suddenly you latch onto them for a little bit, but then like it was only temporary, and then you keep driving, you lose them too. It's like it's a fun little game of like losing the radio stations as you go, but like you get so much enjoyment. Like it gives you a little bit of like just a little bit of happiness when you latch onto a song you recognize.
When I first bought my car, it came with 2 years of free Sirius FM or XM.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so when I drove all the way out to California, I had Sirius XM, so it was able to it was like more dragging into the car than like regular ass radio stations.
Because it's satellite, yeah.
Because it's satellite radio, so.
So you kept one station the whole time?
Yeah.
I think my dad actually still has XM.
All day.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to Howard Stern, but I did. I cannot think of his name now that I used to listen to. He used to be an
Opie and
MMA.
Anthony or something?
No. He used to be an MMA. He was either an MMA fighter or he was like a boxer or something, and I can't remember his name. I think it was Jason something that I used to listen to. But he used to have on he had on his buddies, but then he would also have like a lot of comedians on. So he would interview them, and the comedians would tell random ass stories from whatever. And I used to listen to that a lot, especially going in and get into work or like home from work. I would listen to. God, I can't remember his name now. That's crazy. Yeah. If anybody can tell me what that motherfucker's name is.
Everybody can say what the one radio station host from XM
Holy
Radio
shit.
was.
I can't remember his name now.
Well, shall we get into our stories now that we... Hopefully, maybe one of us will get your memory jogged for you by...
Yeah. And if you have any local commercial stories or links to them, send them to us.
Yeah. Yeah, because I bet I can find some of the local... I'm going to look for a Wrecker Burger commercial later on.
Jason Ellis.
Jason. There it is.
There it is.
Well, it's kind of like how everybody knows the fucking Montgomery flea market commercial. That was just a local commercial that blew up on YouTube,
Oh, I got fired. Never mind.
There's also the... that... Kablawi commercial from it's Kablawi from fucking Florida. That's a local one too. But yeah, there's a lot of good ones. If you guys have any local commercials, link them to us in the
more
Gilded.
ridiculous the better.
It's gilded.gg/everyone sucks here.
I forgot the name of it, but there is I'm not sure if it still comes on, but there is a local commercial from like a catering hall in Brooklyn that has been on for like 20 years, and it's funny because it's just so cheesy. So I'll try to find that so we can link it. But I forgot the name of the place.
That's the thing is that though is like the cheesier they are, the more memorable they are. They're doing their job better than fucking like nobody fucking like that weird little side tangent. But like everybody talks about like the amazingness of like Super Bowl commercials, right? Like that's what people watch Super Bowl for is the fucking commercials and shit. But like nowadays, like even though you've probably seen so many Super Bowl commercials in your life, can you remember any of them? Because I fucking can't. Like it's like even like the next day, like I remember kids in school be talking about them, but it was always like, do you remember that commercial with the dog? Yeah, that was good. But then it's just fucking gone forever. Nobody really knew what the advertising was. They just remember remembering the dog. But like these commercials that they pay millions of dollars for in the Super Bowl, do nothing, but then the local commercials stick with you for fucking ever.
I feel like
They're like, ha, we spent $5 on this.
Yeah.
I feel like every town has that one like appliance center that is locally owned where like
That's what Kablawi was.
the dude will always have his like grandkids or his kids in the commercial.
Yes,
Like
always.
sitting on a fucking dishwasher or like fucking
Yeah.
washing machine talking about the prices.
The place here, it hasn't existed in a long time, but the place here that was called Crazy Eddie's.
Of course it
And-
was.
Of
It
course.
was Crazy Eddie, right? And this was from when I was a kid, so I barely remember it. But it was a big escandalo because the prices were so low because all of the products were hot. And they were all lifted from I don't know where, but I think he's in the clink now. I'm pretty
Because
sure.
Crazy Eddie was too stupid not to make a television commercial.
Exactly. If he just didn't make a commercial
Yeah.
and kept it on the low, it would have been fine, and he would have served his community well. But yeah, Crazy Eddie got shut down, and I'm pretty sure sent
Come on down to
prison
Crazy
for a
Eddie's.
very
Definitely legal warehouse. Everything here is
long time.
definitely legal.
Prices are so low. I wonder how, because they're all fucking stolen from Sears. That's why. Oh, Crazy Eddie. Oh, God. The best.
Well,
It's
who
a
won-
very New York commercial, too.
Hey, yo, I'm Crazy Eddie. I stole this. I'm selling it to you.
Yeah. I pass the savings on to you.
Who wants to start us off?
Okay, fine. I can do it.
Go.
Okay.
I can do it. Okay. Going classic. And am I the asshole? It's from a couple months ago, but yeah. Okay.
Go. What are you waiting for?
I had a better introduction. I was trying to think of it. Look, I'm trying, all right? All right, my brain's working overtime. Okay, am I the asshole for telling the truth in the wedding toast? I'm a 30-year-old male, because of course I am, and my best friend got married last week. I just bought a house, and my wife is expecting our son in November, so I let him know I was limited in what I could contribute financially, but I did tell him I would try my best. So, okay, typo. So I went to the bachelor party in Maine. I rented the tux and paid for mine and my wife's dinner at the rehearsal dinner. I also had a gift of $300 that I was going to give them, but we will get to why I didn't give it to them. His now wife, then fiance, texted me multiple times a day with updates. That's fine. I didn't always respond, and it got to the point where if I didn't respond at least once a day, I'd get a call from my buddy. I have a full-time job, and I'm redoing some rooms in my house, so I'm busy. She texted me for the following reasons. My wife was not allowed to talk about our pregnancy at all. She didn't want anyone to focus on that more than her, the bride. She was not going to order special food for my wife. No one asked her to. My wife was fine with whatever she was going to be served. I was not helping the groom enough. He had to help her with favors, seating charts and programs, so I had to help him with those things, according to her. She also said to get ready to help with thank you notes after the wedding. She said if I was a true best man, I would offer to pay for the bar bill. I didn't even know what that means. She has to read and approve my speech before the rehearsal dinner. I wanted to be included as much as my buddy. She told me to make up things if I had to. I was also not allowed to include anyone but the two of them, and no inside jokes or stories about my buddy that didn't include her. Her last text said to tell my wife to keep it together and not make a pregnancy scene during the wedding. Also, she wanted her to choose a dress that downplayed her pregnancy as much as possible. I'm curious how far along she was. I was so aggravated, I spoke to my friend to see if I could reason with her. So he could reason with her. He told me to just play ball on this one. It's her day and to cut him a break because he'd be dealing with her nonsense for the rest of his life. I was annoyed but calmed down. The day of, all the bride and my buddy do is scold me, berate me, and bark orders. I head down to the bar for a drink. The bride's mother is there and warns me not to get drunk because I've ruined her daughter's day enough. That was the final straw. I didn't give them the card with the cash, and in the speech, I used my friend's exact wording about having to deal with her nonsense for the rest of his life. I wished them the best and told him I'd always be there for him, especially during the divorce. Am I the asshole?
Ooh. What a story.
Yeah, like, okay, just can we like, for the future generation of women, like for the children, the children that will grow up to be women, can we please stop romanticizing weddings and making it so it's got to be like all about her? Like, can we move past this now? Is it time to fucking get past this bullshit? Because like that's how you end up with this shit, the bridezilla bullshit. If you can make an entire show about bridezillas, that means it's a fucking bad thing.
Yeah.
Like,
You also normalize telling people when they're like absolutely acting out of pocket.
But the thing is, we have these stories where people are like, look, you need to like chill the fuck out. But we have these people who are way entitled and they're like, but this is my day. I'm allowed to act however I want. And those are the worst.
Right.
Those are the worst people.
You're not allowed to be abusive for any reason.
Exactly.
Like, it's not your day. It's a shared day. You're getting married. It's not about fucking all
you're
about
getting married
you.
to another person.
Yeah,
so.
and that's like, it's all about both of you. It's not just about you, but also like, just because you're getting married and people are there, they're gracing you with their presence. You're not gracing them with your presence. They're gracing you with theirs. That's a big thing people seem to fucking forget. Like, they're the guests. They don't have to show up. They don't have to do shit.
I think people really truly don't realize that like weddings in the traditional sense of like what they used to mean, which was the transfer of property essentially, and like a bargaining tool, like
here's what my family will bring to your family.
Yeah. So that's why we had big weddings, because literally it was like almost bringing two towns together, right? You don't need a fucking big wedding. Your second cousin and their family don't give a fuck about your love story. They're not invested in you at all. They're not invested in your love story. No matter how much you want to have that like princess fucking wedding, whatever. I can see how like parents would be like, we saw them, like I'm so happy for my son, or I'm so happy for my daughter. Like I can see that, and I can see siblings, but outside of that, no one gives a fuck about your love story.
Right, not in the way that they think people care.
Not in the way that people act in the movies. It is not like the movies. Life is not the movies. Right. So when you do all this shit, like go and you're so insecure about your husband's best friend's wife being
like
pregnant at your wedding.
Yeah.
Being pregnant at your wedding, that is a you problem.
Very much so. And the insecurities are very
The insecurities and placing your insecurities on a pregnant woman just trying to live her fucking life is insane. That's insane.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying he should have taken the high road. Okay.
Why does everyone who's abused have to take the high road? I don't understand.
Okay, honestly, I'm right there with you, Sushie. Like,
I agree.
I'm tired of it.
You're getting this abuse and you have to be the big person. Fuck out of here.
I agree, but I still have that little like, okay, I get it. I get it that it's that one day and you've been barked order. Why couldn't just get through the speech and literally leave? Just get through the speech. Don't do the speech. No, literally leave. No, or don't do the speech.
Don't go. Right? Just don't go.
Well, I mean, he was already there. That's the point. Is he was already there.
He was already
there. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Leave.
He should have just left. Like, look, you can't be abusive to me for 8 hours today. Yeah,
I'm gonna let you have your day.
But at the same time, I'm over this whole take the high road bullshit.
No, I am too.
Because you know what that is? All that is
just protecting the abuser.
It's protecting the fucking abuser. Yeah, like the taking the high road shit. And it's like we as a culture are so fucked and so twisted now, where like if anybody ever fucking defends himself on anything, suddenly it's, oh, you're sinking to their level. No, I'm fucking not. They're a fucking asshole, dude. Like,
right.
And it's like nobody can fucking speak up anymore, because if you do, then you're just as bad as them. But they can just fucking run their mouth forever. You know what happens when that happens? That's how you get fucking people like Trump. Like,
Because no one ever told him
because
no.
nobody ever
Or
said
stop
shut the
being an
fuck
asshole."
up. This dude's
So-
an asshole. Like, and that's how you end up knowing fucking abusers in your life that continue on with their fucking perfect lives
No one
because
tells them
nobody ever said
anything.
anything.
Now, I do agree with you guys. I do agree with you guys. Now, but here, I think this person put it into words that I was maybe trying to do and couldn't correctly do. Even if the couple was bride and groomzilla, the OP made a scene at the speech. And that's what people are going to remember because no one's going to see the behind the scenes shit.
True.
That I think that's what I'm trying to like say is like, you know, just get through the shit.
Okay.
And after this speech, the friendship's over. Like, there's no way that wife is with the way she acted towards all this. There's no way she's gonna even quote air quotes allow him to be friends anymore. You know, but like this for. Also, first of all, why didn't you like stop this whole like stop with the whole pregnancy thing? Like, this is also my child. Don't fucking degrade my wife like this. Like, I get that you're getting married, but you don't get to like assault this fucking like verbally assault this fucking pregnant woman over here. Like, she's done nothing. She's literally attending your wedding. The problem here is that no one. Even because the mom is like, you ruined my daughter's day, and he hasn't even done anything yet. What the fuck were you? What were you doing? You know, I didn't know where the fuck did this whole like, oh, the best man pays for the bar? What?
No, yeah.
What
never
the
heard
fuck
of that.
are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Or like, oh, the best man has to come over and help with the thank you cards.
What?
I didn't realize this was a full-time fucking job, like a fucking executive assistant's job.
I'm not getting paid for this.
I'm not getting paid for this. All you did was get married.
Yeah.
Like, you put together some paperwork. Like, this is not my fucking job. Oh, you have 100 thank you cards to get through? Man, you shouldn't have invited 100 fucking people.
Yeah.
Right.
That sucks to be you.
Yep. I agree. I've never heard of someone like offloading
all the
something
work
like
onto
that.
somebody else.
I mean, if they offer and they, you know, okay, but to ask and demand and like that's weird.
The part about it is like you can come over and be like, oh hey, you know, by the way, we are gonna have like a lot of thank you cards. Do you mind if you just came over and like we'll just have some coffee, we'll watch the fucking Lord of the Rings and do some thank you cards? That is way better than going, oh, and now you're gonna have to make time because we're gonna have to do
I think that's
the
exactly
delivery.
what it is.
Yeah.
It's the delivery, people.
All about
It's
the
the
delivery.
delivery.
It's all about the delivery. Be like, hey, can you do me a salad? Just come over. I'll buy a 6-pack and some pizza, and we'll sit in front of the TV and just help me sign this shit. You know, and we'll mail or lick the stamps.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Make it a conveyor belt. That's one thing, but like the way they demand things and wear a dress that doesn't show your belly, like what? Like why are you?
Ma'am, I'm 8 months
Right.
pregnant.
What do you want me to do with this thing?
What am I supposed to just stand fucking facing the front all fucking day?
Right, don't move. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Wear a big poncho. She gonna be mad when I show up in a fucking muumuu. Like, why are you wearing that muumuu to the fucking wedding?
Oh my god! Or
Make up
another
your
big
mind,
princess
bitch.
gown that like
Right.
you know comes out.
She comes in a ball gown. Yeah.
Right, and then she's gonna be like, "Well, why were you upstaging me?" Well, you told me to hide my belly. So
Which is it, Becky? What the
which
fuck?
one is it? Pick a struggle. A struggle.
Yeah, I can understand with the whole like, you know, making a scene thing or whatever. At the same time though, who gives a fuck? This person's never gonna see these people ever again anyway. It's all the second cousins and shitty fucking family. At that point, man, like if you're not gonna see these people again and you want to say it, fucking just say it. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You're
Okay, so this was a couple months ago. They're due in November. So
she's still pregnant. I mean,
yeah, she's like midway.
It doesn't matter how pregnant she is. You don't have to hide it because you're fucking.
No, that's true.
It doesn't matter. You look, like.
I was just curious. I'm nosy.
Yeah, but it literally matters not at all because like it's a pregnancy. Like and the fact that this woman's like hide it. Why? Were we fucking Puritans? Like what are we talking about? Like. Yeah.
Right. Do you think she's gonna upstage you because she's pregnant?
None of these people know her.
That's weird. It's so weird to think like that. It's ugh.
I think the weird thing is
the pregnant lady's gonna get all his attention. Yikes.
How do friendships like this even get formed?
I don't know, because they sound very incompatible, you know?
Yeah, like this dude's friends with this guy who's literally just like defending the wife, and it's like, how is this never come up before?
Did the bride ever like the groom?
Right?
Not the groom. The best man.
Yeah.
You know, like did they ever like each other, and like all of this aggression is coming out during the wedding?
I mean,
that's the thing, I guess.
The fact that the groom is not going to be like, he's like, oh, just deal with it. Like, I got to deal with this for the rest of my life. Okay,
I would
cool,
never
dude.
want my spouse to say something
right?
Like that.
Right?
Like, please don't marry me. Don't marry me. If you have to deal with me for the rest of your life, don't marry me. If that's your attitude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ugh. Just deal with it. I have to deal with her. Yeah. Wedding's off. I'm all set.
Oh.
So the consensus from Reddit was that everyone sucks here. Which
I guess.
I agree. I agree with this consensus. The judge, just to reiterate, the judgment is given when no one involved is innocent and all have contributed to the predicament that brought OP here in the first place.
I guess technically that is correct.
You know what? I'll lean into the everyone sucks here based off the fact that I can't believe I'm saying this because it's fucking 2021, but this is 2 months ago, meaning we're still in peak fucking Corona time.
Yeah.
I mean, this wedding shoof never happened, and you should have never gone to fucking begin with. So
it's
yeah,
pandemic 2.0.
Yeah.
The Delta-ing.
right?
Yep.
So none of y'all should have even had this wedding. None of y'all should have even gone. So fuck you. Fuck everyone who went. And yeah, that's my thoughts.
Yeah.
What's your story, Sushie?
Well, today I fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I fucked up by going braless for my vaccine. This is labeled not safe for work. It's not that bad though. I proofread it. Obligatory. This happened 2 months ago. A couple months ago, I went to get my first vaccine, as 18s and over were able to get there. So a few of my uni friends and I decided to get ours done in a bigger city near where we live. I live in the north of England, for reference. For a nice day out, we decided to book somewhere to eat and maybe go out afterward for drinks. Counterproductive.
Yeah,
but okay.
Right? It's not a cure. It doesn't work immediately.
Fucking hell.
Not the point, but okay. We will let it pass. But the night before,
There was an attempt.
I'm gonna get my vaccine, but I'm also gonna go to a rave. Like, what are you talking about? Like, okay. Anyway. But the night before, I went out with some of my other friends, and we were out pretty late. Now, then, anyone who knows me knows that while it takes me about 3 to 4 hard drinks to get me drunk, I could be hungover with just 1 or 2 drinks. So I drink a lot that night, go home, trip over in my room, and land on my leftover chips from dinner, and fell asleep on a slice of toast that I hadn't eaten yet. And also that starts my anxiety. Like, that whole sentence starts my, like, why do you have so many food? I hate children. They're fucking gross.
Yeah.
Anyway, I wake up like 4 hours later and very slowly and carelessly get ready to get the train to this bigger city to go get the vaccine. So I decide to put on a long-sleeved crop top and flares. Also, I'm definitely still a little drunk and hungover at the same time because I keep snort laughing on the train. I almost threw up after 1 sip of coffee I had with my paracetamol. I don't know what medicine that is, but whatever. Some sort of medication, and she almost hit bar fill. Gross. When I get to the vaccine center, I start thinking whether or not my outfit is very appropriate for this kind of activity, as the sleeves are pretty tight. But I convinced myself I could probably roll them up. I sit in the chair, and a nurse starts asking me questions, and before you know it, she's like, "Can you lift up your sleeve?" And I say, "Sure can." And lo and behold, I can't. To be honest, I feel like if I tried really hard, I could have definitely rolled it up higher. But she says that it would be bad for the vaccine if my circulation was hindered at all. So she's like, "Hey, can you take your arm out of your top?" And I'm like, "Sure, but I'm not wearing a bra." And she just looks at me, and I look at her. And she says it's okay because she'll shield me. But people all around me getting their vaccines, and there are no opaque screens to stop someone from seeing. And as I take of my crop top, both of my tits become very obviously completely exposed to the cold air of the vaccine center, and everyone is aware of it. I guess I have pretty nice boobs, so it's okay, but it's still super embarrassing. TLDR, being super hungover, I was not in the mind to pick an appropriate outfit to get vaccinated in. And as I don't wear bras, everyone saw my tits. Edit. I will like to just say that I did not expect this much attention from a very silly post. I have many stories like this because I'm a little bit of a mess.
You think?
You think? This may sound really stupid, but I'm actually a biovet student going to veterinary school and did science A levels, but I've never ever heard that you're not supposed to take paracetamol after drinking. I don't know what that is, but I guess it's not important. I guess it's sort of a given, but I'm a deeply silly person. I know I probably should have.
I'm just so silly, you guys. I'm just so silly, you guys.
I know I probably shouldn't have gotten super drunk before my vaccine, but it was one of the first times I could do something nice with my friends after restrictions lifted, so I went all out. Probably a mistake. LOL. Edit 2. I didn't forget to put a bra on. I never wear them, so it never occurred to me that putting one on could have saved me this whole embarrassing story. LOL. Edit 3. To the 80+ guys that have messaged me asking to see my tits.
God.
While some of you are incredibly creative in your requests, I have a very lovely long-term boyfriend whom I love very much.
That's not what they asked. I'm sorry. Okay, I looked it up. It's literally acetaminophen.
And if you don't know that you can't take a fucking acetaminophen with alcohol, then you're fucking stupid. Like
it literally. My fucking God.
Right.
It says it all over it. Yeah. Do not take with alcohol.
But she's just so silly, AJ. She's just so silly.
Also,
she has so many stories like that. So many stories.
I don't understand how these like college level kids who are like they're so fucking messy and slobs and like leave food everywhere. Because I'm like, were you like that in your own home? And did your parents allow that? Because my parents would have beat my ass if I fucking left food around. Like,
yes,
you know, like
yes, they were. And
you didn't leave like a bag of chips in your room because if you did, you're getting your fucking ass beat. You know, like we didn't even eat the chips in our room. Yeah,
why is there toast in your room just like hanging out?
We weren't even allowed to take like plates and bowls and shit to our room. Like we ate at the fucking table, and that was it. We didn't like go out. We didn't eat food back in the bedroom. There was never a point in time where I'm ever eating food in my bedroom. So like. When I became that age, I wasn't a fucking slob falling asleep on dead food and shit. Dead food. On fucking spoiled old food and shit. Like, I don't get it. Like, how do people get like this? Like,
she's so silly. She's crazy.
I'm just so silly.
I'm just a little bit of a mess.
She's gonna grow up. She's gonna grow up to tell it as it is. She's gonna grow up and be like, I'm sorry. I just tell it as it is. I don't have a filter.
I don't have a filter.
I don't have a filter, sorry.
I still have a filter.
I just tell it as it is.
I just shoot from the hip. Imagine planning an outing to go like out while getting your vaccine.
You guys,
I don't know.
Do you guys
imagine going out first and then getting the vaccine and going out immediately afterwards?
You guys, do you want to go like get the Pfizer and Mimosas?
Right.
The Pfizer and Mimosas? Does that sound good? Does that sound good? Pfizer and Mimosas?
Like
I could totally do a Pfizer and some brunch.
Make you feel unwell. So like, why are you like, okay, let's get our vaccine in Chicago and then go day drinking?
All
what?
Right.
You just want to go home to bed. It makes you feel not good.
All right, Becky, hear me out. We're going to have ourselves a Moderna Mardi Gras.
Oh my God.
We're all going to just go down there and we're going to show our tits and get our shots.
Oh my God.
That's basically it. What's your next story, Sam?
Well, it's time for Layers of Deception.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I go twice. That's right.
You had too many Pfizer mimosas.
Yeah.
I got them. Yeah. I got crazy wild last night with my Mardi Gras mimosas. All right, here's my first headline. Woman puts off going to doctor until disease is bad enough for him to believe her.
Oh. Was that about me?
It's about all of us as a collective. And then my second article headline is how Amsterdam, I don't know how to pronounce this, but it says Schiphol.
Your best.
Like, I'm trying my hardest. How Amsterdam Schiphol reduced toilet cleaning costs by 8% with fake urinal bugs. Which one is real and which one
Unfortunately, I want to lean towards the first one being real.
Unfortunately, right?
I think the first one's real too, but what the fuck is a urinal bug?
Well, I could tell you.
I guess just tell us which one's real first.
Yeah.
Okay. The real one is the urinal bugs.
Oh
Thank
my god.
fucking God.
Ah.
I'm happy. Now tell us all about a urinal bug.
But you got it wrong.
I know, but I didn't want it to be
No,
right.
so I won.
I
won this week. I won. Okay, so I guess it's SHIPOL. I guess it's some sort of like organization that like maybe they organize the cleaning in airports. It's basically the gist. Okay. So reducing costs is important for all airlines and airports, especially in the current environment. We have seen plenty of cost-cutting measures introduced over the years, but this old one from Amsterdam Schiphol has to be amongst the most surprising. By adding an image fly to urinals, the airport estimates it has saved 8% in cleaning costs. Aiming for the target, designers and suppliers of bathroom equipment have tried many ways to improve cleanliness. Male urinals are unsurprisingly a big focus of this. They are convenient for space and fast turnaround in busy public toilets, but not the cleanest. Several techniques and urinal designs have been tried to lessen splashback. I hate men. But Schiphol Airport, Schiphol is the airport.
The airport.
I'm fucking stupid. Okay. I've never been to Amsterdam. I only flew through it. Schiphol Airport has proved over the years that the simplest solution is sometimes the best. The idea is simple. Placing an image in the base of the urinal gives users something to aim for, and psychologically, we like to do that. This is discussed in detail in an interesting post in Works That Work magazine. Amsterdam Schiphol Airport has opted for an etched fly image placed just above the urinal drain and to the left. So men
to the left?
Yeah, and there's a picture of it. When I post the link, you'll see it. It looks like a little like a life-size fly, and it's just off center. So men are so disgusting that they have to aim at something,
They have
and
to
then they
piss
realize
on flies.
it's not fucking real.
Are men disgusting, or are you just mad you can't do it?
Oh, men are disgusting. Men are fucking just. You need something to aim at to pee in the thing that you're supposed to pee in.
I'm gonna get a shiwi and I'm gonna aim at that fucking fly. We'll see who's better at aim is AJ. We'll see whose fly is the most disgusting.
And then the worst part is 8%. That's kind of a lot, right?
Yeah.
So the cleaning budget has been reduced by 8% because of that one little change with a little fake fly in the urinal because men need a game.
I was more focused on the fact that why in the actual fuck, when you're trying to cut costs, are you cutting costs on cleaning and not like, I don't know, literally anything the airport overcharges for? Like, let's cut down the cleaning costs, but, fuck everything else, I guess. Like, what? Like,
more profit. Yeah. So
maybe they were trying to cut back on how often they have to go into cleaning,
like
as opposed to a reasonable amount. It was not a reasonable amount how many times they had to go in and clean.
I mean, every time I've seen the fucking public restrooms, the women's are always worse than dudes usually. Like, because women do that hover bullshit. They piss all over the seats and stuff. Like, they'll leave fucking like sanitary pads and stuff places. Like, it's every single time I've had to like go into like a men's restroom versus a women's. The men's are pretty gross, but the women's are always like exponentially grosser. I'm talking about the public ones, so like, and more or less like in bars and shit like that. Like when I've never been like an airport women's restroom, but like hotel women's restrooms are always fucking gross. It's like, because like I feel like I almost feel like the women would be like, okay, I don't want to do whatever I have to do like in my room because that's embarrassing. So I'll go find the public one and like fucking do it there and just fucking leave a mess and then go back to my room.
Oh my God, I hate it here. I hate it here, and I can't wait for you all to see the picture of
I'm
this.
just sick of how long it takes to go through like a women's line. Why is the women's line so long? Is it because you guys have urinals and you could just fucking flip and zip it back up and then leave? Like, what is the fucking deal?
Understood the idea of a urinal. You're still peeing in front of other people. That's just weird.
But you're not, because like there's usually stall doors to the right.
Yeah, but you know what you're doing. It's right there. It's right. Like, I don't know. It's
like, you can't see the person next to you. Like if there's
intimate.
I will say. Okay, I will say my freshman high school, because like the freshman building had their own school for some reason. It was a really old school, and the bathroom that was outside the gym was the fucking worst, and I refused to use it because it just had a fucking like trough, like fucking just a bit. I'm dead serious.
I've heard of those at stadiums.
Little flies etched in.
There was no barriers, nothing. Just a giant fucking tub that like they wanted a bunch of fucking little boys to piss in.
That is horrifying, and I never want to talk about that ever again.
Yeah, I've heard about I've never seen one in person. But
I've only ever seen it there.
I have heard of those being like at arenas or like convention centers.
Like baseball.
But yeah, that's what I meant. Like stadiums and stuff.
What?
That's what I've heard.
I hate this fucking weird worldly stereotype that like men don't need privacy in any way. Like it's fucking stupid. Like, I'm fine using...
I'm with you. I just think the idea of a urinal is weird. I feel like if I were a man, I would still pee in the stall.
There's a lot... Honestly, there's a lot of dudes that do. Like, you'll see a lot of dudes that just go... Every single fucking, like, nerd that I know uses the stalls. I'm not even kidding. If I feel like I'm the one person who just all use a urinal and not give a fuck because
you're I really don't think I would.
It's literally every time I hang out with like a nerd friend or anything.
Like, I don't know.
Every time I hang out with a nerd friend, like if they just happen to go to the bathroom at the same time as me, every fucking time I go to the urinal and they go to the stall. Every time. And it's like a nerd thing. Like they just don't.
I guess I'm a nerd. I am a nerd.
But like the thing is, like you have walls on either side of you. You can't see the person next to you unless you're me and you're tall.
But you know what they're doing, and I don't know.
That is not what they show on TV. What we see on TV is urinal, and everybody sees everything.
I mean, they're usually there's like a wall that's built between them. Usually, if there's not, then I probably won't use it. Like
still like open. I don't know.
I don't remember what the urinals look like in that.
I don't want my unsheathed penis, right, out in the open with other.
It's just as bad when there's stalls.
Unless that's what you're into.
The worst are the stalls that don't have doors. That's the worst too, because like that's the thing that you.
No doors.
I've seen that. I've seen stalls with no doors. Actually, that fun fact: that same bathroom from my junior high, or not, my freshman.
That works out for you since you keep getting locked in stalls.
Like it was literally. Wait, locked? I never got locked in a stall.
I thought you did get locked in stall. The door fell off.
The door
locked in a stall.
No, the door fell off. I didn't get locked in.
Oh, okay.
The whole stall fell apart while I was in there. Fucking like PAX, or I believe.
You lived everybody's
West.
You lived everybody's worst nightmare.
The entire stall fell apart. Like the fucking walls and shit fell down. Like.
Oh my god.
But no, like that same one with that, like the fucking trough or whatever. Like it had stalls, but they had no doors. So like you couldn't win either way. No matter what you had to do, like somebody can fucking see you.
The beach bathrooms in Hawaii don't have bathroom like doors.
No, I don't like it.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like it gets even weirder when you think about like there's stuff how culturally you go to like you fucking any like Eastern country, a lot of them just have like here's a hole in the floor, just have fun, it's public, whatever, and then just fucking do your business and get out. But like they don't give a shit because like I guess if you grow up with that way, you don't give a shit. Like you're not gonna care because like you weren't told this is embarrassing, so now you're not embarrassed by it, right? But like. It's a weird thing to think about at the same time because, like, traveling.
I guess that's true, yeah.
Yeah, like, you're not going to. If you're not, like, I mean, that's a lot of things, but, like, it's just,
right.
It's just a weird thing because, like, at the same time, like, I don't want to travel over there and be like, well, what do I do?
Like, it's really not that bad.
If there's not fucking doors, it's bad. I've seen them. I've seen them with no doors. There's just a hole in the floor.
Okay, but you're not. I have a feeling that if you went somewhere, it was not going to be the bumfuck nowhere.
I'm just saying. But you don't know that because you have a bad fucking experience at a restaurant and you're gonna go wherever's closest, you know? Like, so you never know. You never know when it strikes. You never know.
You never know when he's gonna get locked in a stall.
I mean, think about it. What if we were like in like some like Eastern culture country or whatever, and you're like, oh, I'll get this like tea, right? And you have this tea, but then you're like, oh, why does it taste so good? They're like, oh, we put milk in it, and you're like, uh-oh.
Oh, SpaghettiOs.
You never know.
Never know.
Never know. Never know. Granted, they would never put milk in it because, like, that wouldn't make any sense for an entire country that's lactose intolerant.
Right.
By the way, we added.
Kind of weird.
We added this very European thing to.
Yeah. Very strange.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm glad that.
What's your story, Sam?
Yeah, what's your story?
Okay, so please work. Okay, yeah. So I pulled this one from relationships, and it has an edit, and I haven't read a single thing. Nothing has been proofread. So this is all a new journey for all of us.
Perfect. Love that.
I, 25 male, refuse to forgive my family, sisters, and my parents, and until they pay me back my inheritance they spent on themselves.
I don't even know what that means. So
I refuse to forgive my family, my parents, until they pay me back my inheritance they spent on themselves. So
maybe like their grandparents or something left them something.
So it says, okay, so they're 25 male. They got two sisters, 33 and 31. Mom is 63. Dad is 60. I am the youngest of 3 siblings. My parents are owners of a grocery store that was passed down through my father's side of the family for generations. My grandparents on both my dad and mom's side left me and my siblings each a college trust fund of $100,000. Each of my sisters blew through their money and dropped out of college. Both of them became single moms to my 3 nieces, 10, 8, and 7, and came back to work for my parents' store. I was the only kid who didn't work for my parents' business, and as I got a job as a landscaper for the summers, and after school throughout my entire high school years, saved up about $20,000. I got accepted into college on a partial scholarship, and I was beyond thrilled because I knew I had a great opportunity to leave college debt-free and own my own home by the time I was 22. Just as my sisters did when they turned 18, I asked my parents to turn over access to the trust to have the money under my control just like my sisters did. That's when my parents told me we would discuss this at dinner tonight. So at the dinner, my whole family was there, including my nieces. When it was time to talk about my trust, my dad and mom asked me if I would consider holding off on accessing the trust for 2 years, as they had to use some of the money to cover some of the health care and living costs of their grandkids, and also pay off a lawsuit that my sister, Gloria, received for DUI. I asked how much they used, and my mom said there's currently $5,000 left in the account. Ooh. They had spent $95,000, and none of it went to me. My dad said, we just need you to think about your family and understand that we need your help in this request. I said, isn't it great that everyone benefited from this money besides the person it was intended for? Gloria and Lori got to go to college, travel the world with their money, while with my money, I got to pay for all of their mistakes. My last words to my family were that this was not a request, as the decision was already made and I moved out and left. I still went to college as I had a partial scholarship, and over those years I used the money I had in my savings to start my own landscaping business, which employs 6 guys, and we're doing great. I never got a chance to spend any of the money my grandparents left for me, as my parents never built back up the trust. 2 years ago, I found out from my lawyer when I sent in a formal request to access the trust that the current balance was $3,456, less than the $5,000 my parents told me about. My sisters and parents have tried to reconnect throughout the years, but I always resent every gift, letter, and invitation they have sent me back to them. I am getting married next month, and my fiance wants to meet my family and help me close this chapter in my life. My fiance wants me to forgive and move on, as I haven't spoken to them in years. But Reddit, am I in the wrong for telling my fiance sorry, but I cannot move on from this?
I mean, I don't think you're in the wrong.
I don't think he's in the wrong. I think that's pretty fucking valid, man.
And I do think, I think this is something that everybody should fucking take into account and fucking learn. If you're with somebody and they have an issue with their family, then fucking leave well enough alone and don't sit there and pester them to try to, because you have no fucking idea what they actually went through besides just the little bit that you're getting off the top. So don't fucking be that person. Like, well, you should really reconnect and make it better. You know,
why?
Fuck that.
Well, we don't know if she's pestering, but
No, I'm not saying she's doing that. I'm saying in general, like,
In
just
general,
fucking
the,
don't
like,
do
guilt
that. Like,
yeah. That's so like. I agree with him in the sense that, like, yo, you two got to literally do whatever the fuck you wanted, but because I was the youngest, you took what was left because I wasn't able to get to that age yet. That you robbed them. You robbed him. Robbed him. There is an update.
I feel like you could sue for that if it's a trust fund left for them.
I think you can too.
Like, if it's a trust fund left for somebody else and you dip into it, you can sue the fuck out of them.
I think you
It
can.
just depends on if I can understand why he doesn't want to, or, you know, because that's on there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So much has happened that I think the best way to do this is to put this in key points, answer in the comments. Thank you to everyone who sent me direct messages, wrote me in the comments. The thread was locked after 4 hours of it being posted, so it blew up fast. I know everybody did not get a chance to comment last time. As a result, my inbox was flooded, so I wanted to give the best update that I could, so many of you took interest in my story. What has happened since? Fiance admitted to speaking with my family on Facebook Messenger, so never mind.
Dumb bitch.
They also spoke in person when she said they met each other in a restaurant. It happened a month ago. Fiance said it was very emotional. Why?
Wow.
Why is
it emotional for you?
This might sound extreme, but you are no longer my fiance if you do that shit.
I kind of am with
too
you.
much.
Like,
you are crossing a huge fucking barrier here. You are no longer. We are done. Like, I'm sorry, but we are fucking done.
Yeah,
like,
especially if you already like said your
piece.
Like your piece, right?
Yeah.
It's like, this is my stance on it, and it's like not really your business. Why this relationship is this way, but now you're trying to meddle in something I told you not to.
Yeah.
Whoop, pack your bags, bitch.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh.
How old were they? Well, he's 25, so.
Old enough to fucking know better.
Okay, so I told my fiance I'm extremely disappointed that she withheld this information from me for a month. Fiance told me she felt guilty and afraid to tell me because she thought I might break up with her, cancel the wedding if I found out. She wanted to wait till after the wedding to tell me.
What?
Even worse. She wanted to trap him. We're done. We're extra done.
However, yesterday my mom called my her directly, begging her to help me reunite our family. She missed so much of my life, and she doesn't want to miss another milestone, and then in parentheses, the wedding. Fiance knows she has violated my trust. She gave me the most heart-melting, sincere apology I've ever heard in my life and asked for forgiveness. She even had her parents ask me to forgive her and not cancel the wedding. Her dad and mom told me they loved me and hope I could move past this. Her dad loves me. He literally has a picture of me in his office, just me and him, LOL. He introduces me as his son. For the past 2 years, he cried and said he doesn't want to lose me as a son. I forgave my fiance. Sisters came to my business with my nieces and desperately wanted to talk. Sisters deeply regret their part in the decisions that were made on their behalf. They want to be a family again. They understand my position and anger, but they miss me and want me back in their lives. My nieces also asked why I don't come around anymore, and am I mad at them? Sisters explained this has destroyed our parents' marriage, as it has now come out that my mom apparently spent the majority of the money without my dad knowing. And then when he found out, my mom wanted dad to say it was both of their decision because she believes if it came out that it was her that decided by herself and not my dad, that I would never forgive her no matter what and would disown her because I always accused her of playing favorites. To be honest, she is right. and I would have disowned her. My mom pleaded with my dad to cover for her decision to empty my fund. Dad was furious, but decided to say he and my mom decided to spend the money. Dad now resents our mom because he no longer has a relationship with his only son. He also hears from his friends how great of a relationship me and father-in-law have. I call father-in-law Dad. He calls me his son. Dad told my mother either she fixes this or he is done with her, and he's telling me the truth. I told my sisters that I love them and my nieces, and I do not hate them. However, they helped rob me of a very important gift that our grandparents gave each of us, and I missed out on life experiences that they got to experience that I did not. It is like they stole my last gift that our grandparents left for me. We all cried, and I accepted their apology, but I told them I do not know how to let go of this resentment I feel towards them. I let them know our relationship will take time to rebuild. I asked them to set up a meeting with just me and Dad and not my mom. I met with my dad alone. My dad was shocked that I requested the meeting. He looked defeated and asked to speak first. My dad told me he is and has been depressed for the last few years and feels like he truly failed me as my father, and he knows he betrayed me. And as a father, he must take that to his grave, that he is the reason his son hates him. He said he is extremely jealous of the relationship I have with my father-in-law, and he just started crying for like 3 minutes straight. I told him I know it was mom who decided to spend the money. I told him I understand why he didn't throw mom under the bus, but he deeply hurt me by covering for mom's decision this long. I told him I love him and said he doesn't owe me anything anymore. He is done owing mom's debt. We both cried and hugged for like 5 minutes. I invited him, my sisters, and my nieces over to dinner at my place that night without my mother. I let my sisters and dad know that if they came to the dinner with my mom with them, that this would be the last time we speak. My mom clearly found out about the reunion without her and wanted to speak. I refused her request, and I told her, please bring a check for $100,000 if you want to speak to me. My wedding is on September 3rd, and I have since invited everyone but my mom. My sisters want me to hear mom's side of the story, and my dad has said he is done covering for my mom's decision. My fiance is happy and supports my decision 100%, even though I know she wants me to be with my mother. She just got forgiven herself, so she doesn't want to push it. So Reddit, should I meet with my mom before or after she hands me the check for $100,000?
No, at the meeting of the $100,000 check handoff. That's where you meet.
I don't know. I'm reading some of the comments and I kind of agree. I don't even think he's right to really forgive the sisters because they took part in this.
They
did.
I know.
Where do you think that fucking money came from for your kids that you chose to have? Like,
right. And their mistakes that they chose to make.
So, and now they're all like, oh, you should really forgive mom too. Like, let's just fucking use our, like, no, you don't get to do anything. You have no power here.
$100,000 is a life-changing amount of money, and he was robbed of it before his life even really started.
Yes. You know? Yeah.
So they made that decision for him.
I do want to take point on this one comment. He did right in forgiving them. You forgive someone for your own mental and spiritual health. That is not correct. That is not correct. You do not owe anyone forgiveness.
Right.
And in forgiving someone, that does not automatically
like, oh, I feel better mentally and spiritually now. I forgave them.
That's not how that works. That's not. You can forgive someone, but still have that shit in the back of your head, and there's nothing wrong with you in that sense. People always think like, why can't I just get over this? Why can't I get over this? Because you had something traumatic happen to you, and it doesn't just go away. So I just want to point that out.
And honestly, like, I'm not. If people can get past that, if people can manage to, like, if people have those people in their lives that they're like, I just can't forgive them. But if they manage to do it, more power to them. But at the same time, I'm more or less in the boat of, man, like, if I'm at that point with somebody, like, where I just can't look past something, then I'm not going to put more work into the relationship than I need to anymore. There's no fucking point.
Yeah.
You know, if I've already reached that level where I can't view them the same anymore.
Yeah.
Then what the fuck is the point of putting even more energy in to try to move past it?
Yeah.
Because it's just not. It's like you life is way too fucking short to harp on this bullshit and these small things than this. Now, I will say the one thing I maybe jumped the gun on that, like, I'm thinking back now, was her her saying she didn't want to tell him until after the wedding, my gut immediate reaction to that is fuck this dumb bitch because I'm already mad at her for talking to this person. However, thinking about it for a little bit longer, I do understand in the sense of if somebody fucks up, there's that weighing stress and anxiety of like they are scared and it's not a good decision to do that and it's not right, but I could understand why she was like,
I understand, but like,
I still don't agree with it.
If she knew that the situation was so dire that he may cancel the wedding, she shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
You know, like, and then to hide it purposely until after they get married, like, I don't know.
I don't agree with her. I'm just saying, I could understand the mental hurdle she was doing at that point after she already fucked up, but I don't agree with any of the decisions she made. And
I don't agree. Like, she knew it was that serious.
And I don't know if I could forgive somebody like that.
What's the point? Like, what was the point of that?
Unless he had said, like, there's a difference between her going, do you want me to maybe, like, be the middleman and, like, maybe reach out to them for you? Yeah. There's a difference between that and going behind his back and messaging them on Facebook and then meeting his mother in person.
Yeah.
Because if she can manipulate him to if she can manipulate her husband and say, oh, well, I did this major thing without you, now cover for the both of us, and then can manipulate her children in, oh, well, we'll just pay it back. It's fine. We'll just pay it back. Then she's going to manipulate your fiance.
Yeah.
And that is a young mindset to literally go, oh, well, maybe I'll go talk to his mom.
Yeah.
I'll go talk to his mom, but it'll be fine. It can't be that bad, right?
I don't even understand what she was trying to accomplish with that. Like, what
idea.
Is you, a stranger, gonna say to the mother of the person you want to marry that hasn't been said? Like, why would you make a difference in this?
Exactly.
Like,
you know the dude better than the mom does.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like
you know him after this situation has taken hold. You know what this has done to him. You know what his mental state from this experience has done to him. He literally cut out his whole family. His whole family.
No one wants to do. If anyone cuts out their whole family, some fucking shit went down.
Yes.
And just leave it alone, dog. You know.
Yes. Like you
don't need a medal in that.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't get extra points for the reunitement.
And
hell no.
Also, this whole like weird, what is this fucking bullshit vibe mentality of like, I just really want to meet your family. Why? Why would
like if I am telling you they're a bunch of assholes, they're a bunch of assholes.
Yeah.
Like
why do you want to meet a bunch of assholes?
It literally comes down to like, I want to meet the people that you tell me are cool. But if I don't give a shit, like, if you tell me, like, your family's fucking trash, then I don't want to meet them. But if you tell me your family's cool, then I want to meet them. So, like, this whole, like, but they're, like, I want to meet them because they're your family. It doesn't matter. They're fucking awful people.
Yeah.
Like, so leave it alone. Like, respect that and leave it the fuck alone.
Yeah. I like the nosiness behind it. It's like, what were you trying to accomplish with that?
Yeah.
Yikes. What a story, Sam.
What a story.
Yeah.
What a story.
I enjoyed that one at the same time you guys did.
I see.
Wrap us up here,
all right,
Sushie.
I went to a different subreddit called Petty Revenge.
Hey.
I thought sounded very on brand for us. This one's titled Elevator Karen. I live in an apartment building that went condo. Most of the owners rent their units out to someone else, so most of the people living here are tenants, not owners. Most of the owners are pretty cool, but some of them really suck and go out of their way to be assholes to renters. One Karen in particular is just really nasty. She threatened to have me evicted for playing with my son with sidewalk chalk in front of the building. She threatened my neighbor with the cops for playing with his kids with sparklers on the 4th of July. Anytime someone moves in, she tells them they aren't allowed to use the elevator. They are. She once threatened to call ICE on someone's movers because she heard them speaking Spanish.
Wow.
Terrible. Anyway.
Drop her down the elevator shaft.
Right? Whoops. You fell down the stairs, bitch. Sorry. Anyway, this morning I'm walking home and I see her standing out front, so I pick up my pace to get inside before her. I heard her opening the front door just as I went into the elevator. As the elevator rose to my floor, I punched all the buttons, top floor first, and worked my way down. Then the basement. Have a nice trip, Karen. You're the worst.
God.
Oh, just to make
Do you
her
think?
mad.
Do you think she's just a tenant or she's an actual owner?
Who knows?
God.
So worried about if people live there or not, you know? Elevator pettiness. Love it.
I don't understand getting mad at like, oh man, the kids are out there with sidewalk chalk. Like, are
Oh
you
gosh, you know?
okay? Like,
Sparklers on the 4th of July.
Unless they're literally in my way and I'm
things.
driving my car and I have to wait for them to move, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
like, but like,
Just like
I've
on
seen,
the sidewalk drawing, like as kids do.
I somehow have ended up on Karen TikTok. And so all I see are people recording Karens, right? And the last one I saw was literally a girl was sitting in her car. And the woman was like knocking on her window furiously. And she rolls her window down and she's like, this car is too loud. And she's like, what? She's like, there's just too many cars in this neighborhood that are too loud. It just drives me crazy. And this can't be legal. And the woman was like, this is not a modified car. Like I have no modifications. This is just my car. And it's a brand new Lexus, right? She's made the only modifications she's made are purely cosmetic. Cosmetic. She's like, well then why is it so loud? And the girl was like, because it's a goddamn V8 with 500 horsepower. That's why. And she's like, well, it's just too loud for this neighborhood. What I don't understand is if you live in a apartment building, an apartment complex, a general neighborhood, you're living with a bunch of people. You don't own the fucking neighborhood. Right. You don't own the neighborhood.
No,
there is a give and take here. There's a give and take here. Why do you think you own the whole fucking parking lot?
it's literally as bad as the people that try to tell us to have the dogs pee in some other grass because they put a lot of time into growing plants at this apartment complex
Outside their
apartment that they don't own.
You don't own
And the dogs
land.
weren't pissing on their plants; they were pissing in the grass, as dogs do. And good luck getting a dog to not piss in the grass. Like don't piss in that grass. No. Yeah, like
that grass. Right.
Shut the fuck
the
up.
The funny thing is, I just realized too, is the reason why their grass is brown is not because the fucking dogs pee in it. It's because they have no sprinkler system over there.
Yeah.
So the way into the park, like there's two patches of grass on either side, kind of like a little sidewalk, and two patches of grass on either side. And the dude who lives in the apartment on the left side, he regularly hoses the grass. Like he waters the grass himself. And that grass, perfectly fucking green. The other people don't do jack shit. Fucking brown as shit. Like,
and they're the ones that complain
and they're
because
the
the
ones
dogs
that
piss in the grass.
complain.
Like we literally walk our dogs to the neighborhood, but if they stop off in the grass and piss, what am I gonna do? Fucking pull them away? Like what are they? Fuck.
My dog's 15 years old. I'm not gonna fucking yank his ass to stop from pissing. Like he's
a dog.
He's a dog, dude. Like what do you want from me?
One time I was walking my dog in my old neighborhood, and she's very curbed. She's very like polite. She would never like pee or poop like on the sidewalk. She would just naturally go to the street. And she was in between cars, and some lady, palm-colored lady, was like, she was peeing, and she was like, "Are you gonna clean that up?" I was like, "She's peeing. What would you clean it up? Clean what up?
Yeah.
Peeing. It's liquid. What would you like? You got a roll of Bounty with you? Like what?
That's the downfall of having a female dog too, is
because
they squat.
Right.
Everybody automatically assumes they're taking a shit right away.
Yeah. I've literally had a group of women say that shit to me before here at the park walking Midna. I've also had them get on me about where I walked her in the park because like there's the park and then like Midna like tries to go a little bit off the trail or whatever, and she's like, you can't take her back there. Why? Well, because it's nature. Literally, that's the reason. And
I would, that's an animal.
And I love it because like I was like, I literally told her to mind her own fucking business. That's the words I literally said.
Yeah.
But like the idea behind it was like this weird thing. She's like, it's bad for dogs to shit back there because it's nature. Completely forgetting the fact that there is literally like nonstop a fucking pack of wild coyotes that live back there shitting everywhere. There's fucking
Right.
wild dogs here, everywhere. You're not gonna stop them. There's fucking wild dogs
You know
literally
what?
all
And
over.
she probably sees that and thinks it's like domesticated dogs.
Yeah.
It's
You
like
know
they're
what I'm
literally
saying?
fucking
She probably
yeah.
thinks it's like all not even taking into consideration that wild animals just live in the
Didn't
woods
somebody get
because
onto
that's where they
you
live.
for brushing Midna too?
Yeah,
Crushing Midna
yeah.
Because he took Midna to the park to
To brush her.
to brush her.
because she's fluffy.
Yeah,
Get the
as
fur
opposed to doing
out,
it in my apartment, you know. And
Yeah,
you're like,
that makes
"Oh, well,"
sense.
and people got mad because you're in the park. Yeah, I am. What do you want? What's your point? What are you getting at here? Like-
That's why my favorite thing to do is look at people and go, "Why are you speaking to me?
yeah.
Stop speaking
You know what? You should just
to
be like,
me."
you can see me.
That's literally like that. I mean, that's pretty much what we said when we went to the dog park that time. And,
Oh,
and
yeah, I
I'm literally
did.
carrying trash in to throw it away, and the woman goes, "You can't bring that in here." I'm taking it to the fucking trash can. Why are you speaking to me? Don't fucking talk to me.
I literally looked at the lady and I was like, "Stop speaking to me. Stop talking to me." And I walked away.
Stop looking at me.
I think the problem is we have too many white women who just don't know when to just stop. Like, you can stop mid sentence. I don't even care if you walked away and just stop mid sentence. Just stop. Just stop talking. Stop
Right.
looking at me. Stop speaking to me.
Are you so concerned with what other people are doing all the time?
I don't give a shit.
All right, I could not give a shit what other people
unless
are
it
doing.
affects my life in some way.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I don't care.
Becky, get in your
Yeah.
Honda Civic and fuck off.
Nah, she's driving a Honda Odyssey.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
right.
the Odyssey.
You fucking right. You're right. Kia Soul. She's driving that Kia Soul.
Well,
We finally did it, guys. It took 3 attempts, but we got the whole
attempts,
episode
and we got
done.
through it.
You
did it.
you guys better like the fuck out of this episode.
No.
Yeah, for real. So we will catch you guys next week. We're gonna hopefully get through it in one session next time. We'll see what happens.
Hey, we'll see what
So
happens.
we'll see what happens.
What are you talking about? We recorded this on Wednesday.
If you'd like to join the
Live.
conversation, hit us up on gilded.gg/everyone sucks here.
You fucking promoter.
Always, we got Twitter. You can hit us there, ESH Podcast. Send us an email, contact@everyonesuckshere.com. Tell us your stories. Tell us about your local commercials. If you got fucking shit you want to share, do it in the Gilded. Do it in the Gilded.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Send us new subreddits to check out that you think that we would really enjoy.
Yeah.
And then maybe we can read some stuff and we'll give you a shout out. You like those stuff, don't you?
Yeah.
You like stuff like that.
You want
right?
your name
being
said.
shout out.
You want your name said, huh?
You want to be
Gilbert.
You want to be acknowledged, don't you, Gary?
We don't just want to be acknowledged.
Gary, don't you want to be acknowledged?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm hungry.
All right. Yeah, me too. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.